Hey, hey, my creative friends. It is that time of day. I am Shannon from Shannon's Studio, and we talk about creativity. All kinds of different angles, all aiming toward creativity. So, let's see. Ow. Sorry. So yesterday I watched the movie The Man Who Invented Christmas. It was about Charles Dickens and the writing of A Christmas Carol. And it was really good, really good. I kind of cried at the end. Maybe it's just me, but it was really good. I liked it. It came from a creative perspective, how the process went for him in creating it. But what I really liked was at the end, he said, "It's exactly as I imagined it." I don't know if he actually said that, but that's what they had in the movie. It's exactly as I imagined it. And he was driven to do it. He had a vision for what it was going to be, and he just kept pursuing it, which that is what happens a lot of times with creative ideas. So I was thinking about this goal that I have of doing a video every day. And I've committed for a year to myself. Nobody's making me do this. It's just that I have several reasons for doing it, but it's huge. It's a huge thing. And I didn't tell anybody I was doing it right at first because I was a little afraid I couldn't do it. And I really still even haven't said a whole lot to a lot of people. Like I barely mentioned on my Instagram. I do it here, so it's here, but I haven't really said that much about it on my personal Facebook page. I just haven't done it because to me, it's such a big goal that, it's kind of scary. It was literally kind of scary. I mean, I had a loose plan, but, sometimes when you're doing something new, you don't know how it's going to turn out. And there's a quote that says, "If your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough." And that's from Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the Nobel Prize winner in 2011. So if your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough. Yeah. Now, this isn't a huge life-altering goal that I made for myself, but it's scary to me. It was scary to me. It's not so scary anymore, except on nights that I'm like, oh, what am I going to talk about? Like today, this morning, I got up and there was this great idea in my head. I had just gotten out of the shower and I didn't write it down, and then later on I could not remember it. So then it just kind of put me in a little funk all day long, and so I still can't remember what it is. I'm sure it'll come to me at some other point, but it didn't come back today. Should have written it right away in my little idea book, but I didn't. Anyways, so it made me think of these ideas that we have, to dream big, these big ideas that we have. And it also made me think of the song. I remember watching David Archuleta on American Idol when he performed. And he performed a song by John Lennon, Imagine. And, it's hard to take a song that's done by such an iconic group and then perform it, because the expectations are so high of what that song already means to a lot of people. Any idea you do, taking an iconic thing, it is in people's psyche, sort of thing. And the Beatles, are the Beatles. So it was, but I remember him singing it and just going, oh man, he did so good. And one of the judges, Simon, said it was really risky to do that song. It was a big risk to do the song because of, like I just said, the iconic place that song has for people. But it also says in that song, "You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one." So he's talking about people living in peace, but it's the fact that there would be dreamers to think you could live in peace. There will be people who have these big dreams, and you're not the only one that dreams that. So the tip today is we're talking about dreaming big. Dreaming big, dreaming dreams that scare you. And here's something in Wired to Create. It says, nevertheless, the importance of dreaming should not be understated. The importance of dreaming should not be understated. As we'll see next, there is a great continuity between the dreams of our youth and the more mature daydreams of our adult lives. So he's saying basically is that a lot of times our big dreams that we come up with later in life stem from some of the things that we have dreamed about in our youth. And I think that is, because like I listen to Joseph, and he's building cities, he's building tunnels that attach houses, he is he was in Bake Club, and they watched some Bake Club reality shows like Bake Off or Nailed It or something, I think those are the names of the shows. And so he's been home the last couple days and watching them. And he's decided at 8 years old, he's going to go on Nailed It, and he knows what he's going to make, and he's going to win the $10,000, and they're going to let him on at 8 years old. I'm going, that's a dreamer. That's somebody who dreams big. He says, I'm going to change the world. In our youth, we feel unrestricted. We feel like we could do anything. And our imaginations aren't restricted by reality. And so we can do that. The idea then is when we get older is to still have that youthful look, that childlike view of our possibilities. And yet we sometimes let in reality of what we think can't happen slip in there and stop us from doing that. So, and here's another quote: falling in love with a dream is frequently the starting point. So if you have a dream and you start to really love it, then it starts you start to go, well, maybe I could do that. Maybe there's something to that. Maybe, what would I do? It just kind of plays in your brain. So the tip tonight is to dream big, to actually dream big. I like this quote. I'm going to do a little art piece with it. It says, they say I dream too big. I say they think too small. Alan says, I'm the one that thinks small and you're the one that thinks big. So I like that one too, because it just kind of validates and gives you permission to dream big, because that there is a place for dreaming big. I know a lot of times Swedes, they don't do big. I was talking to a gal at church Sunday, and she was saying that the last American there did things big. When I did the dessert table, which I put some photos on Facebook, it was way bigger than I know that a lot of people would have done. And I'm not saying you have to do everything big, but I'm just saying that sometimes the culture puts it in there that maybe you shouldn't be doing it big. And we discussed, and I said, I don't feel like people should do something like extravagant or big unless they want to do it. But I also feel like you shouldn't be scared of the big thing. You shouldn't be scared of that little big thought in your head saying you should try this, or you should pursue this. And you're thinking, oh no, I mean, I'm right there. Like I said, these videos, it took me a few years to even approach it. And now I'm kind of going, what was the big deal? But it was my own personality traits that I had to overcome. And then I realized, oh, I'm okay with this. This was out of my comfort zone, but I can do this. So what I want to know is, what are your big dreams? What are your big dreams? Just if you, even just saying it doesn't mean I'm committing you to anything. But sometimes just saying it is, can be a talking point, a starting point of what you think you could, that maybe you might talk to your family about, or you might talk to a friend about it. So what are some of your big dreams? I think, thinking of Rebecca, who makes comments and watches videos sometimes, is that one of her big dreams was her Christmas tree farm and having that. And then watching over the last few years, because you have to plant the Christmas trees way in advance before selling them. And I think it's all coming to fruition now, where she's got her store, she's finished that, and she's got it all lined out. And I saw a picture on her Facebook page, and it's snowing and it's beautiful and it's just wonderful. That is a big dream that has taken a long time, that at different points you could want to quit, but that it's still there. It's something that starts to fire you up. Hi, Rose. Rose, we're talking about big dreams. So one of the things I always say is, vision is always ahead of its time. And part of dreaming big is seeing things that others don't see. Not always, but sometimes. Seeing things that others don't see. So what are your big dreams? One of the things that I read, I didn't read the complete story, but I read part of the Eiffel Tower story, and it said there were 300 artists and architects that petitioned to have the Eiffel Tower shut down because it was, I think, ugly. But they petitioned to have it shut down because they didn't like it. And yet, look at that now. Sometimes we have to fight for our big dreams. Sometimes we don't. But they usually do scare us. And so, let me know what your big dreams are. I was trying to think what my big dream is. And I will have to get back to you in the comments too. I mean, I have a lot of goals. And I'm trying to, going to France was a big dream. I never thought we would go to France. I remember Alan said, well, where would you want to go? I'd say, I want to go to see the Louvre. And then it's happening next week. But I'm thinking more of it can be any kind of big dream, but I was thinking more of doing things and that sort of thing. So tell me your creative dreams. I will think on mine and dream big. And part of creativity is taking that chance to dream big. So you have a creative heartbeat, listen for it, and I will be back tomorrow. Bye.